Can you invite me?
Oh, I literally invited you 6 times already. Are you? Oh, see, kids, this is what happens when you have a friend who's kind of slow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is my boy Jakey or Jacob.
Uh-huh.
His
No, I'm just
social
gonna invite
security
you.
card number is what?
I haven't gotten anything.
Oh my God. Well, that's Jake. I'm your daddy, Andrew. And today you're all gonna see me spectate a bunch of other players. Cause I'm gonna be dead. Oh yeah, Jacob. You know that jug of water thing I've been
What?
doing?
Yeah.
I've done it for the past 2 days. I just finished it like a second ago.
Yeah, nice.
Straight and ranked. We're gonna get this L. No dub. We're gonna get this dub. No dub. Come on, guys. Yeah. Am I in a windstorm right now? What's happening?
With me, with you.
Oh. Oh. Mobby. Ooh, we're attacking. Can we do the strat, Jake? I want to try to show the stream the strat.
Ooh, she's kinda cute. You better watch out, mama.
Bro, oh my God.
Kinda cute.
My boy looks pretty sexy too. Not gonna lie. Wait, dude. Well, might as well end the stream. I just realized I'm playing Blackbeard on stream, dude. You know how harassed I'm gonna get? Freaking, you like pieces of paper defending your head. It's stronger than paper. Excuse you. It can take a bullet. Not a lot, but it could take at least.
It's more like, thin plastic.
It's yeah. It's like usually like plexiglass. Like it's stronger than most glass, but
Like seal.
no, Flex Seal. No, that's the glue of the gods. Like that's unbreakable. This is breakable.
The hardest structure on earth.
Bro, here,
Marble
you know what
thought
we're
it
gonna
was
do?
vibranium.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk about some conspiracy theories that keep me up late at night. Alright?
Alright.
And I'm gonna start right off the bat with a big boy. The pyramids. So you wanna tell me that 50,000 slavey boys moved hundreds of tons of rock and put it into a pyramid shape? That makes no
precisely.
sense, Chief. That makes. Cause I mean, think about it too. Like if you see it, like the edges are perfectly straight. But how? There's no chisel marks. There's no nothing. It's just like a straight block. And okay, and my dad brought this point. Okay, so you know how it was like a bunch of slaves? Ooh, just lagged real hard right there. Just mega lag spike.
Oh, you were like,
Yeah. But so do you know how they had have all the slaves and stuff like that?
yeah.
Like, I was talking to him about it. That was impossible.
Why?
You might be I was gonna say, you might be asking yourself, why is that impossible? If they had that many slaves, how did they feed them? They had no good agriculture. They were barely struggling to feed themselves. Let alone freaking 30,000 slavey boys who were tired of carrying freaking tons and tons of rocks. And they also said, well, they put it with like mud and they used the mud. They ain't got no water. They're in the desert. They used the spit of the slaves. No. It just didn't add up, Chief. It just didn't add up. Cover me. Oh, yeah, I'm goofed.
I can't get it from anywhere here, so I'm just gonna go up.
Well,
Hey, is that shotgun good or something?
yeah, it's like a freaking sniper rifle.
One friendly
Oh, they just
All
goofed up
right.
the whole team. Ooh, did you hear that? Ooh, did you hear that? What was that?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Well, anyways, I think there's something up, dude. Oh, my dad was talking about like, this theories of like how like UFOs work, and he brought up a point that like kind of makes sense. So even if they do exist, I don't think it's like the ship itself that moves that fast. Cause you gotta think about it. If like he brought this point, so if there's like a planet, right? It blows up. But then little grains of sand are orbiting around the Earth at like intense, like crazy speeds, right? So if it were to hit a ship, it would break it. One little hole would just tear up the whole ship. So I was talking about that. But
Yeah.
he doesn't think that the ships themselves go that fast. He thinks that they somehow create like a field around the ship that protects it. So like, so kind of like the field itself is like pushing through space like a barrier, and then the ship is just kind of gliding along the ride. Can you impact that?
Yeah.
So it's like, cause that makes sense too, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense, but like,
Yeah.
there's like jet footage of like a UFO going from 40,000 feet to like 50 feet in like a second. That would you don't have physics to even comprehend that, let alone explain it. So I think that's what I think. My theory.
Alright, you wanna know what I wanna talk about?
Oh, is it PPs? I know you're concerned about yours, but trust me, oh bro. I'm just kidding.
Hey, not right now, not on stream.
Oh damn, my bad.
Easter Island.
Oh, I love Easter Island. I actually know like some facts about
I
it.
know. Like how though? What happened though?
Okay, well this is I heard this on a podcast. It may be complete bullcrap. But I'm finna explain it anyways. So apparently there was like a big tribe like on the island.
Yeah.
And it was like two tribes. And they were like the daddy tribes, you know?
Uh-huh.
And like, but one day, like they ran out of food because they chopped all the trees, they hunted all the animals, so they had a war for food, and eventually they all died out because there was like no more food and stuff like that. But before they died out, they just built those huge sculptures out of their resources, like the Easter headmen. So as like time progressed, they just degraded, and then like eventually. Sorry, like it's going crazy. They like became covered in like the earth that started growing around it as the earth tried to rebuild itself, the little island. Plus, even then, that doesn't make sense, dude. How does an ancient civilization like that carve that, dude? Let alone them all be almost like perfectly symmetrical, like they are.
Well,
I don't think it makes sense. Like, how would they move it? How would they pick it up? You know, freaking sound like they had freaking He-Man, the Sumerian, come across and grab it and just throw it in the air. Oh shoot, I died too. I lit him up a little bit though. Wait, here's another thing that concerns me. Where did the Sumerians come from? Remember we learned this in like geography?
yeah.
Like,
I don't remember
literally,
any of it,
well, she said like literally like, then like all of a sudden the Sumerians came out. They invented cuneiform or cunanism, whatever the hell.
Cuneiform.
Cuneiform, yeah, there you go. They like invented all these things. They made these great cities. They did this and that and this and that. But where did they come from? Think about it. How did we learn writing? There's no way we could have learned writing. Because do you know how we learn things? It's through the process of evolution. So that makes no sense. So wait, oh my god, are we actually gonna lose this?
Friendly last operator standing.
Just stay alive, dude. Just stay alive, good. I know. So, okay, so I'll go back to this, but like, the thing I was talking about, metals. There's no way we could have just randomly learned to make metal. There's no way. Because how did we find a rock? Melt. By the way, you know, melting point of rocks is really high. So that you're saying that like that thing was in a fire for like a day or hours, and even then, so if it did happen like that, then we were cavemen. We wouldn't get the liquid and be like, oh, I make sword. No, we would have just honestly we would have drank it. Like, wouldn't that make sense? Like, if we found a liquid, we'd just drink it. So, okay, so how did we know what rock it was? Where to find this rock? How to melt it? How to then make a mold for it? And then think about it. This is basic blacksmith. You have to quench it. You have to quench a blade. That's how it solidifies. How did they know to quench a blade? They've had to do that unless they freaking left it in the freaking air for 13 years to let it cool off by itself. It's not really 13 years, but that's what it would feel like. So, like, I don't get that. So, like, when people are like, well, what if they put, like, the rocks around the fire and just over time they kept using fire and it kept melting? Again, though, what would in our brains make us think, ooh, liquid, I make weapon? No! Oh, it's solidified on the ground and realize it doesn't work like that, dude. How, explain that, dude. Explain that. Do you think a monkey is gonna see a liquid, see that it's sharp, and then, like, decide to make a weapon out of it? No, bro, it's probably gonna scrape its booty hole with it and then throw it away.
Yeah.
So then the Sumerians come out and go, oh, villages, agriculture, domestication of animals, all this crap. How did they learn that? Because how do you evolve from that? Because we learned about this in class, and I asked
Well, do you
I asked
think
the
that there
teacher,
could be some unhurt people that we don't know of?
no, because even then it's bullcrap. I just died, by the way, by visual. Okay. Again, writing. Again, how would we evolve writing? Try to explain that. How would we evolve to get writing?
Some boys like, we need to track our crap.
Okay, well then they probably would have put. They probably would just put dots, right? Like we learned about that in the cave, right? So what in the human evolution would think instead of just keeping track like we are now, I'm gonna create a full number system, a full writing system to keep track of that. Like, okay. I mean, I'm probably sounding like Alex, but like, I'm not saying Alex Jones is retarded. I'm just saying, like, think about it though. Like, to me, it just doesn't make sense. We wouldn't evolve that writing because for us, there would be no need for that if we weren't evolving like that. Cause, okay,
Well, even the simplest of writing is like the start of evolution.
yeah, but not in the dude. Okay, again, Samir, dude, that type of style of writing was full out sentences. That was they were explaining their history. But how do you evolve from writing tick marks on a wall to explaining your history within just a few hundred years or 1,000 years?
Oh, smart boys.
No, because they're a caveman. Biggest caveman in the cave was Peter. That was it. That was their democracy. They didn't overall start evolving. Just like, oh, okay, let's make clothes. Well, no, that was the thing, yeah. But like, okay, Jabba, you hunt. Taniqua, you cook. Like, no, like they just lived, no matter what that was. And for them to say that they came up with this new group of people who somehow knew everything is insane. That's just my opinion on it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Want to talk about another one that I was thinking about? I read this article about a thing called the Nephilim. Bro, I swear, everyone's gonna watch this video and be like, this boy is retarded. Hey. I swear, I kind of am. But just, like, this is the stuff I think about. So, you have to believe in, like, heaven and hell for this. But like this.
Okay.
Wait, actually, you know what? No, because that's like religious. I'll talk about another one. That I also read. Then yeah, this is the source. Like it's probably just from a guy in his basement. Like freaking had a dream and wrote it. But like I had this it was like this article I read, and it was a conspiracy theory for the flood. Because I have two conspiracy theories for the flood. You know, like the Great Flood that wiped the Earth, whatever. Noah's Ark. So the first one was that there was this alien civilization that required gold to live. Like it was part of their atmosphere, it was a part of their nature element. And like Earth, they were being like unsafe with it, and they mined too much, so they were out of running very low on gold. So the big was like, hey, we go to Earth because they know that we go to Earth that has gold. Like we go mine our gold here, and then so we go to Earth. So they go to Earth and they mine the gold, but then the aliens start making like these weird like hybrids with like the creatures on Earth, and the big alien, like the overseer of all, he sees this and he's like disgusted. He's like, "What are you doing? You had the job to get gold, not create new life, And by the way, there actually is like, if you look at it, this guy like brought up a point. Like if you look at a map in Africa, you can see like these craters kind of form, or they think that's where they mine. They're very subtle, but like you can tell that over time, just like as the land grew over it, there's these craters, and so this boy he saw this and he was disgusted. So he wiped the earth with the flood, like he created tsunamis, and he killed all the hybrids to get rid of all of them. And that's why we had the flood. So that was the first theory, and the second theory, this is the heaven hell one, was that the male angels were going, I think it was like the 72 trapped angels, whatever the hell, heck, my bad. They were coming down to Earth, and they were like having kids with like a. Oh my gosh, sorry. They were having kids with females, and they were making the Nephilim, which are these like disfigured monsters, practically. They're these giants. Like they even have bones found. Like these 28-foot tall men. Which isn't, normal.
Yeah.
So they were. So the Nephilim were living their lives trying to be among the people when they ran into like a big problem. How did you see that? How was that not a headshot? Hold on, let me try to not screw up. Oh dang it, dude. Wait, so there are 6 fingers on each hand, six toes on each foot, and then there was these beasts. And back then they had normal agriculture, and they would eat so much because they were so huge. So at one point they would start eating the humans because they needed the food. So that's why Noah sent the purebreds, like the pure family, like on the ark, and flooded the earth to get rid of these Nephilim. And some of them still survived, but they weren't like enough. So that was like another theory. That's why sometimes when like I read something else about like when a tribe says hello, and then they show the palm of their hand, or like they make the markings with the palm of their hand.
Yeah.
It's to show that they have 5 fingers, so that they're not Nephilim.
Your drone has found a bomb.
I don't know, dude. See, this is the stuff that like I didn't read at like 4 a.m. and it freaking makes me freaking weirdo, dude. So I'm thinking about this stuff, dude. Some of it makes sense.
Be advised your drone has located a
I mean,
bomb.
obviously not all of it.
Some.
I mean, yeah, I would say like 13-foot half angel, half men creatures. Like, that's a little far-fetched. But it's like stuff like that like people like kind of like discover and like they make theories about it.
The diffuser has been secured.
Alright,
Located
we gotta
bomb. Make your way
focus
to
up.
its location and defuse it.
Guess we just unplugged.
Big controller.
Yep. Is there anything else like you want me to freaking rant about?
Huh?
Oh, I did find a funny Bigfoot theory. Oh, that voice crack. It was that Bigfoot are interdimensional beings. I mean, some of it kind of makes sense. Some of it's like, nah. Fam, you just missing a chromie at this point. Oh my god, I hate this game. But it was, so, I mean, like, cause, like, first of all, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Bigfoot sightings. So, I mean, you kind of gotta think that there is one at least out there, you know? Cause, I mean, there's too much evidence to say that they're non-existent. So then, he was talking about it, and it was that, this guy, this guy goofed, but it was that they're interdimensional beings that can travel in and out. And that's like, that's why we never find any poop, we never find any of them there, like their homes or anything. They travel back and forth to like collect samples or something. I don't know, dude. Just, the world is
That
crazy.
sounds like a little bit much.
Yeah, and that one is a bit much. It's just the stuff that freaking keeps me up, dude. Cause like there's so many theories out there, and they're like so crazy. Oh, wait, I'm gonna go back to the H-Chip boys. Yeah. I do think aliens helped. Like, I'm sorry, but you can call me a freaking weirdo, but I 100% think that. Because, like, there's so many things, like they don't make sense. How do you move all those stones? No mud, no traction, no slaves can do that. Let alone have these stones that are perfect squares. Or triangle. Geometry, come back to me. Rectangles. Or a rectangular prism, or whatever the hell. Because, think about it, like, aren't they, like, perfect?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no chisel marks or anything. And if someone did have to make them all perfectly aligned, it'd be really hard to get all the slaves to do it the same exact way and make it that uniform. And then you look at the tombs and the drawings where they have these elongated skulls. Where did that come from? Because there's no way one day one of them was like, Mbaku, yes master, I'm going to grow your skull. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. They were doing that to signify to their gods. It's in their writing to signify their gods. Okay, but what god has a freaking head that's that elongated? It has to be something extraterrestrial. Because they probably looked up to those beings because the aliens were like, hey, look at these boys. Messing around with some dirt and no water. Like they did this. They made these tombs to signify that they have this power. That these ancient humans didn't even think of. And again, what would signify the reason to elongate a skull?
I don't know.
Every tribal practice comes from a certain reason. Like all those like Native American dances, that probably comes from their beliefs in animism, whatever the hell. But you can't justify that. One day someone's just like, hey, I'm gonna elongate my skull today. That doesn't work. That's not how it works. That's not how it will work.
Hey, yo, bro, let me elongate my bones real quick.
It doesn't. See, what were they doing it for? It had to be to show some sort of respect or like connection or character at God, because there's no other way. But then again, you see all this history of aliens with all these supposed elongated heads and these crazy deformities, and then you see these tribal people who are trying to do the same thing, and it's got to make you think. No, I don't know, dude. No, I don't know. Because I honestly think history that we're taught at school is completely wrong. Like, I was watching this documentary. Do you know they found paintings of Viking ships on Native American, like, territory? Like, a Native American ruins? Can you impact this real quick? If you have it. Like, on Native American ruins. Shoot. They found... Can you move?
No.
What?
Just throw your camera out the top windows.
Where? Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, well, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, history teaches us wrong. Oh, yeah. So, cause it was just like this crazy thing I saw. It was like, so it was like the Native American like drawings and stuff like that, right? But one of them had Viking ships. And it wasn't a recent painting, you know, they wouldn't keep historical evidence of a recent guy who finger painted it. But it was like a ship. It was a ship. But how would the Native Americans know what a ship was if they were native to the land? If they haven't set sail before Columbus? So it makes no sense. So, means if that is the case, then what else are we being taught wrong? Oh shoot, this thing's open.
Why am I being dragged?
Cause that's so wrong. I feel like so many things are just so wrong that we're like not in the order or anything. Cause some of it doesn't make any sense, dude. Like using cruel tools, I get that. I think that's 100% like us growing up, you know. It's evolving cruel tools for sure. I mean, we're gonna see a rock, we're gonna want to use it, you know. But to say that at one point we accidentally melted in war and created a metal weapon out of it, that's so unjustifiable, dude. I mean, how do you justify that? Again, accidentally melted the stuff. It was on the floor. Over time, it hardened, and then they learned it was a weapon. Like, no, it doesn't work. They wouldn't keep it. It would take too long to harden. Because by the time it does harden, they probably moved on, traveled somewhere else, or they've just completely given up on it because they don't care. They're freaking monkeys, dude. They want food. They don't want no. They're gonna wait around and see what this liquid does. No, they're gonna either drink it and die, or just leave it. And then to say that they combine things to make like bronze and stuff like that, and then they learned exactly what type of rock to go get in order to make it continuously. Like, no, like that's not how it works, dude. Shoot, well, I just goofed up. But I don't think that's working anyway, dude. Because to me, it just makes no sense. Nice, dude. You know, like, unless you have like pure evidence. Oh shoot, dude, he's pushing it. Unless you have like clear evidence of metal, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, you learning fire, that's understandable. Because I mean, you clack some rocks together, create a spark, it catches things dry on fire. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
But then to see that okay, let's see. Okay, we're gonna do some research right now. Okay, Google. Because Google knows all. Okay, what is the weakest metal? Let's do Lucky Jackal. A lot of time, what is the weakest metal, and it comes up as what is the strongest non-alloy metal? What were they using? They were using like bronze tools, right?
I don't know.
Well, let alone the melting point of copper is 2,000 degrees. So let's see, melting point of bronze.
Well done. Biohazard
The melting
container
point of bronze, which I know for a fact that we're taught to use, is 1,724 degrees. Let's see, a fire, how hot does a fire get? Generally, a fire burns at
10 seconds.
1,100 degrees Fahrenheit. That science doesn't add up, chief. Okay, even if they were huge bomb, they wouldn't have huge bonfires either. Know why? Because I bet they were scared of hell's fire. They thought it was interesting, sure, no doubt. But do you think they would make a fire able to engulf the whole place?
No.
Dang, I just killed that freaking goof. But yeah, they wouldn't make a fire that big because they'd be too scared. But they'd be terrified, dude.
2,000-degree fire just for nothing.
Well, cause I mean, like again, to me, it doesn't add up. So if the fire was barely hot enough to like even then melt that metal, if it melted, then what would they do with it?
hostile
Put it in a mold? They didn't have a mold.
operator standing.
Oh my gosh,
How
this
the
guy's
hell
getting
did he
clutched.
kill me first?
Friendly last
To the left. Right. So how are they gonna like make a mold, get a hammer, and even if people would be like, oh, well, they probably didn't sharpen it. They just probably used the metal. Then it would have been weak. If you don't properly make the metal, it would just break. And if it just breaks, then how do we make that evolution? I mean, I guess sorry, dude. It sounds like I'm crazy, but it makes sense. It low key makes sense. Cause you can't do anything about that. Oh my god. I mean, there's so many things. No teacher can justify it. And I bet if you just ask, I mean, they'll probably just shut you down. Like, oh, you know what you're talking about. I'm a teacher. I went to school. Yeah, you went to school for 4 years to make less than minimum wage. Good job. But who's even to say that what you're learning is accurate? It's the government. They probably lie about everything. And literally, Area 51. There's a whole area in the U.S. No one knows what it is. No one knows what's happened in it. No one knows what goes on in it. No one knows a thing about it. But do Americans really care? No. The majority of them are like, we don't know it. We probably shouldn't know it. Like, no. We probably do need to know it. We just don't know it because we're not told.
Protect the biohazard container at all costs.
You know, like, I low-key wouldn't be surprised if we had, like, places where, like, we low-key just live with aliens. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like, some area bases where, like, they literally are in contact with aliens. You know, and then who's to say that aliens aren't like the humans? I mean, we got Russia. I mean, you know, those boys are freaking goofed in every way. Not in every way. They got some good vodka. Okay, I'm just kidding. But, you know, like, they're, like, bad people. And then America thinks we're the sheriff of the whole the whole world I met. Because we're the ones trying to solve everyone's problems. So, like, what's to say there's not aliens like that? Some are good, some are bad. The good ones who are trying to help us, but then the bad ones are trying to help, like, Russia. Because I think the main reason they're probably contacting humans is to stop us. I think as soon as we discover the uranium bomb, I think they What? I think, like, when we discovered the uranium bomb, they had the knowledge they're like, hey, oh dang, thermites peeking the window in the kitchen. They had like the knowledge to be like, these people can all just end their world. And I don't think they want that, because I think they're I think they're more intelligent to understand that there's more to life than that. I think they think we're just like a bunch of violent people, but like I feel like they had to do something. Like there's like a story case like of a general like talking about. It's not a general, it's like a soldier, and it's like base. I forgot where the base is, and you have to look this up to like if you know if you don't believe me, look this up yourself. It's like it was on. I watched it on the History Channel. It's like this, like because these people were talking about it, and they actually worked at the base, and they're like, look, we saw crafts above us that we didn't know. We didn't know what those were. They weren't ours. They weren't the Russians. They weren't the Chinese. Those were something out of this world. But did anyone pay attention to it? No, because the media doesn't broadcast it. Literally, Phoenix Lights. Almost the whole city of Phoenix saw the Phoenix Lights. But did anyone say anything? No. It was just some stars. Stars don't align in a perfect triangle formation and move at a constant rate. The governor of Phoenix, even himself said, "I saw that," and he was a pilot. He used to be a pilot, and he said, "I don't know what that is. I don't have a single explanation for what that is." So if a pilot can't explain that, what is it? Someone who's literally trained to work with those aircrafts don't even know what that aircraft is. It pisses me off because people they know this happens, but they don't ever talk about it. Again, like so many people saw that. You can't say that's fake.
Yeah.
There's no way. You can't say, oh, it was just some lights. Lights don't work like that. I'm sorry, but they don't. They low-key don't. Like, you have this footage of this plane. I gotta look up the video again. It's a plane, right? It's a jet following this unidentified object. The thing is making a J-turns at like 100 G's or something like that, bro. If we were to do that, our spaceships would crush into metal balls. They would be completely gone.
You need to locate the biohazard container.
We don't even have the physics or the comprehension to explain the things that we see. But we just slide them off. We're like, eh. Doesn't affect me. It
Because they're
should
beyond
affect
their
you.
capacity, so if it takes too much, like, you know, evidence or thinking to do and to explain, we just blow it off.
Yeah, but let's stop it. Okay, dude, like, honestly, okay, if I die and I go to heaven, and, you know, God knows all right,
10 seconds to insertion.
you know, like the singing,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna straight ask you, can you sit down with me for 10 hours and explain to me everything? How did the pyramid, Stonehenge too, how did they lift that stone on top of the other stone? You know, man, just be like, hey, I got this. No, it don't work like that, dude. You can't do that. That's impossible. It would lift this big old stone and put it on top of the other. Like, come on. Like, I'm like, literally, that's the only thing I asked for. I just wanna learn it all. Because there's so much, it's so stupid that I think it has to be justified. I mean, especially the alien thing, dude. The alien thing pisses me off. Oh, whoever's the Ying is a retard. Jake, that was you. You just
Hey,
flashbanged
whoa.
me. I feel like a TED Talk person.
Big grass for hair, too. Miss Kruger.
Dude, don't remind me. Don't.
What?
Oh no. Oh no. Dude, Frost is in here and she's so low. You think you pick me up real quick? Nope. She ran out and got me. Jake,
Alright.
I'm gonna act like I didn't see that.
Good.
Anyways, I think this Earth just has too much that needs to be explained, dude.
Secure the room. Protect the bio container.
Because like a lot of things in total, dude, just like they don't add
Last
up.
operator standing.
I mean, like, okay, bro, I swear to God, I sound like I'm a mentally insane dude, but JFK. You're telling me that our U.S. government thought it was a good idea to get the president of the United States in an open convertible on a one-way street in a narrow path with open buildings
No,
surrounding
that's
it.
just stupidity.
You are no. Think about that. Freaking Abraham Lincoln got goofed up. Why wouldn't they think he wouldn't?
10 seconds left.
And this was another theory I heard about that dude. He was on his way to go. He was on his way to go sign like a paper to make the CIA part of like the Department of Defense, as in like the CIA couldn't really interfere with like
Yeah.
government at all. Like unless it's like he was like on his way to go sign that bill. And again, if you're watching this, fact check everything. I'm probably just retarded. Probably am. But he was on his way to go sign it. And so, do you think the CIA would appreciate that? Losing their jobs? No, hell no. And they're the CIA. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna use the skills that they pay people to use, and they're gonna goof them up. This is how it works.
Secure the room. We need to protect the biohazard.
It's stupid, bro. Again, there's no way we can comprehend. I mean, he's the president. I mean, why would we just put him on an open convertible? I mean, come on, dude. Freaking Abraham Lincoln went to go see a play, and look where that got him. Bless you.
Hey, you.
Down to 10 seconds.
Oh, by the way, I just want to mention this. You know, people say Republicans are evil.
5 seconds.
What?
You know, some people say Republicans are evil.
Yeah.
Just want to remind the fact that Abraham Lincoln was shot by a Democrat. Just gotta throw that quick little reminder out there. Oh, what does that mean? That guy was different. Well, bless you again. It shows that, you know, we're angry people too, but we don't kill for it. We just give heated debates like I am right now. And we just kind of lose our temper because we're some chromosomes. We don't go out and kill, though. By the way, another thing. How dare men decide the fate of women canceling abortions in Alabama? The governor of Alabama is a female. I'm gonna remind everyone of that too. I mean, you know that, right? So everyone blames the men.
Yeah.
1 on 4 remaining.
Like, how dare you, like, you choose this fate for a girl? I'm not choosing this fate for a girl. A girl chose it. You know, because they probably freaking comprehended that a human life is a human life. You know, freaking. You know, there's footage of a fetus about to get aborted, and it sees the instruments coming at it to kill it, and it's literally moving away from it. It's the most horrifying thing. You can see it trying to squirm away from it.
Yeah.
You know, and the people say like, it's not a human till it's like has a consciousness and can like decide and think. That makes no sense. If my son is born a potato, is he still a human then if he doesn't have a consciousness? Or if he's retarded?
A potato.
Well, people are like that, you know, like, well, they aren't human unless they're like they have consciousness and like they're like normal people and they're born on this planet. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense, fam. If my kid's born and he looks like a velociraptor freaking fetus that got stepped on, he's still a human. If he's in the fetus and he still has a beating heart, he's still a human. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream there, boys. Feel free to dislike this video if you're a liberal.